Hey everybody, welcome to Afterthoughts. This is a podcast where we talk about our first and second impressions of movies, along with a related topic. This week we are talking about 1999's 10 Things I Hate About You. Another great high school movie.
Great.
And based on William Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. Have you read Taming of the Shrew?
Of course I've read Taming of the Shrew.
Okay, well, great.
I'm an English major.
Of course, yeah, I didn't even think of that. I was asking around and nobody had read it, but of course you have.
I know. I'm just kidding, but I really have read it.
That's great. Good. Oh, by the way, I'm Joshua Guzemi with my co-host Coleman Taylor, who is not in Texas where he usually is.
Yeah, I am in Memphis for work, and I did not bring my microphone, so sorry if this episode sounds like garbage.
Entertaining garbage, hopefully, at the very least. You know, like Transformers or something.
Wow. What a jab.
Oh, man. Okay, so 10 Things I Hate About You. It's got Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, David Krumholtz. Great cast. And, so I haven't read Taming of the Shrew, but it's basically like two sisters, one can't get married unless the other does. And one of them is a shrew.
One of them is a shrew.
Is that like an okay analysis?
Yeah, great analysis. You did great. If you wrote that on your paper, 100%.
Thank you. So in this modern version of it, set in the 90s in Seattle, it's Julia Stiles and Bianca. I can't remember the actress's name. Alex Mack, but I don't know her name. They play sisters, and Julia Stiles plays the shrew-type character, Kat, and Bianca can't date unless Kat does, so there's this elaborate deal that the guys make to get her to date. Right? So, there we are. Hilarity ensues.
And they all end up happily ever after.
Well,
spoiler.
Kind of.
After much hardship.
When did you first see this movie?
I don't even know. I was definitely younger when I saw it, but it had to have been after 99, obviously. So I think probably middle school.
Okay. Yeah, see, I would have, if you asked me before I knew that it was 1999, I would have been like, I must have saw that when it came out, because my sister and I loved that movie. But I was 8 in 99, so I doubt I saw it then. But yeah, it must have been a couple years after that. My sister and I loved this movie.
Yeah.
Was it popular with you and your friends?
I'd say it was more popular with me and my family.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. I feel like none of my friends have ever talked about this movie. I know a couple of people that like it, but it was never a popular movie with my friends at school or anything. And so it's sort of has almost fallen out of my memory since then, because we just have never talked about it. But at the same time, I've looked back at it every once in a while oh yeah, that's a great movie, because I loved it when I was a kid. Yeah,
this has always just been a family favorite for us. I've watched this movie so many times.
That's awesome. So before you rewatched it this week, do you remember the plot well?
Yes, I remember pretty much how the whole movie goes. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow, okay. So what was your first impression, or your sort of impression up until this week?
It's just kind of always been... I always liked it, even when I was younger. It might have just been because my family liked it, and we always watched it a lot, but I just thought it was a fun movie. I didn't really catch how corny it was or anything like that, and I just enjoyed it for what it was. And I saw... Since it was when I was younger, I saw A Knight's Tale first, and then I saw 10 Things I Hate About You, so I was just like, oh, Heath Ledger, he's great, I love that guy.
Nice.
And then it's got that kid from Angels in the Outfield in it, so this will be fun.
Yeah, great. Knight's Tale, man, that's a great movie. We should definitely do that one.
Yeah, we should do that one.
But anyways. Okay, so positive first impression.
Positive.
Well, did you... I'm betting that you watched the movie before you read Taming of the Shrew, right?
Oh, well, you'd be wrong. I always no.
No
yeah,
way.
I watched it first. You're right.
Okay, good.
I don't think I read the
So
Taming
when
of the
you-
Shrew till college. So
Okay, so but when you read it, did you? Yeah. What am I saying? When you read it,
did I compare it? Yes, I compared it. That's what you're trying to say. I'll even say juxtapose, just because you couldn't get it out.
yeah. So when you read it and you compared it in your mind or whatever, how did it hold up?
I mean, it's just like a goofy, corny version of it. Although Taming of the Shrew is pretty goofy too. Mm-hmm. Specifically, the character that Heath Ledger is supposed to represent is very different. He's by far the goofiest. This is how I can describe him in the play. He's crazy. He does the weirdest things ever.
Okay, cool.
And not like, because in the movie Heath Ledger's character is supposed to be like crazy or whatever, and it turns out he's not. No, the guy in the play, it legitimately seems crazy.
Okay,
But in a weird way, not in, oh, you've done crazy things.
so does the movie, like, do you think the movie does the play justice?
I mean, yes and no. I'd say it holds to the overall plot of it, but at the same time, I don't think it's supposed to be Shakespearean or anything. It's just supposed to be a fun way to represent this old play.
Right. Okay. Well, so when I first watched the movie like a million times when I was growing up, I didn't know that it was based on anything, and all of the sort of nods to Shakespeare that are in the movie, which I appreciate now, like, were completely lost on me as a kid.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
But my first impression of the movie is just like, when I was growing up, a lot of the movies I watched were because my older sister wanted to watch these movies, and so there were a lot of movies like this, like romantic comedies and stuff. And so to me, it was just another one of those movies, and I had no idea that it was based on anything or anything like that. So it was just, to me, it was just like this fun, quirky high school movie, and I loved it. I always thought this movie was like really fun, and I loved all of the music and stuff, and it just was like, great. This is another great fun movie that we're going to watch.
Same Z's. I mean, overall, my first impression was just positive, and I thought it was funny. Thought it was just a fun movie, I guess. Mm-hmm. Also, did you know that Julia Stiles is in another movie that's based on a Shakespearean play?
Okay, is it? Should I know this?
No, I don't think you would.
Is it obvious?
Could. No, it's not obvious, but
Is it Save the Last Dance?
I don't know. I mean, that could be. I don't know anything about Save the Last Dance.
It's not the one you're thinking of. It's probably not. What is it? I don't know.
O. It's just called O. It's just the letter O.
Oh, great. Okay.
I just thought it was curious that she would just. I wonder if she was just like for a while picking like, oh, that's based off Shakespeare. I'll do it.
Yeah, like Kenneth Branagh. Okay, so let me ask, before we move into second, I guess you've seen it so many times and you remembered it so clearly, but I was going to ask, did you think that it would hold up when we decided to rewatch it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I didn't think that it would, but I wanted it to. It's one of those movies that I didn't want to sort of tear apart.
I don't think it could lose its standing in my mind. It's too ingrained in there. I'm kind of a little biased, so.
I had no idea that you had watched it this many times, or that it was like big with your family.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Wow. Okay. So you want to do it? You want to move on to second?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What did you think of it this time? 1,000,001.
I still thought it was great. It was much cornier.
Wow. Okay.
But, yeah. No, I liked it a lot. What about you?
I mean, it's one of the. I pressed play and I was just so excited from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because it's that Bare Naked Ladies song, and we're coming in on the high school or whatever, and then it immediately changes to Reputation or Bad Reputation or whatever, and it's Julia Stiles' character coming in. It's like the opening was just so fun, and it sets the tone, and I remember how fun the movie was because I haven't seen it in a very long time. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I loved it. And then we follow the characters in through that big loop, and they're like, or Joseph Gordon-Levitt's first day of school, and it's awesome. The music, the character introductions are all so great. I thought it was really fun and funny.
Yeah.
I think it falls apart a little bit, just a little bit at the end, but this movie's great.
Like the movie or the intro?
The movie, excuse me.
The intro just falls off a little bit towards the end.
I think everything from the opening shot of the movie up until the party is really great. Like really well structured. That's an awesome chunk of the movie. The second half is like tying up the loose ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think the movie is a little cliche, right? But it's tough because it's based on Shakespeare, so I don't even really know where it falls in the era of 90s teen movie in terms of like setting up these cliches. I don't know if it was the first of its kind to do X, Y, and Z in terms of like teen cliches, but I think all that stuff is saved by like a really great cast. Like everybody performs their parts really, really well, and it's like they sell the corniness or whatever.
Yeah. I definitely think they sell the corniness, but it is totally there. It's just so evident, and it's hilarious at the same time, but also like, oh, kind of cringeworthy.
Oh man,
definitely agree that they totally sell it. And no, he's kind of corny. I was gonna say, and Heath Ledger isn't that corny, but there's a few lines he has that are pretty corny, pretty out there.
Yeah,
but
yeah, definitely.
I still think they all make up for it, and the overall movie is a lot of fun to watch. And I mean, they had good source material to go off of, so the plot I think is really well done, and all those aspects of the movie are great. I just think it's a little corny, but those movies at the time were supposed to be, and even the corniness can be quite funny at some times. So
yeah,
it's like good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great cast. I don't feel like I can talk about it enough. Like Heath is great. I think Julia Stiles is great. I miss this Joseph Gordon-Levitt a lot.
Wow. You always hate on the quote-unquote new Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I just miss nerdy Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But there's even, like, I forgot that Allison Janney was in this movie as, like, the creepy guidance counselor.
Who doesn't guide anyone.
Oh, she's so good. It's so funny. The English teacher is great. Like, it was filled with a lot of great performances that I did not remember. Like, David Krumholtz is, anytime he's on screen, he was just great. He is so funny. Bernard, man, so good.
I know.
But okay, so you think the movie like completely holds up? Other than the corniness, are there anything that like stood out to you this time around that was like, I don't know?
I really don't. I've just seen this movie too many times. It was really hard to be critical of this one. Like, I just couldn't. I watched it and I was like, oh, this is fun again. And
let me ask you about two scenes specifically.
Okay.
The band scene where he's singing to her, where Heath Ledger is singing to Julia Stiles. How did that play for you this time?
It would never happen in real life, but that's the kind of movie it is.
I liked it. I mean, that was one that that's the scene. That's a scene that was like iconic. I remembered that one, but before I pressed play, I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
And I was nervous about how it was going to play, but it's great. It's fun. I think like Heath, it's just like it's Heath. Like he plays it really well. He doesn't embellish in it. It's just like it is what it is, and he does it really well. So I'm fine with this like cheesy, slightly unbelievable moment. It's played well. Mm-hmm. Okay, second scene, the poem at the end that Julia Stiles reads with the title drop. Kind of. What did you think of that?
I mean, still fine, because I quote that part all the time.
You quote that part? What does that mean?
Just the last part. The part is like, but I hate most of all, I can't even see it. I'm messing up now.
Do it. You got to do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Come on. That's what the podcasters are waiting for. You quote something in every episode. Oh man. So I saw that scene this time and I was like, the words are pretty cheesy. Mm-hmm. But Julia Stiles sells it so well You know, like she just performs it so well. It's like that's great, and it's great.
Yeah.
I really like. If this was cast in any other way, I don't know if it really would have succeeded the way that it does.
I agree.
Not to say that the script isn't good. I think it is clever and good. And like I even wrote down like the deal that they make to, you know, they pay Heath Ledger to go out with Kat. Mm-hmm. It's like it's the kind of thing that's like it's in so many of these teen movies.
Yeah.
So to see it again is like but I think what saves it is both the performances and the fact that it's not straightforward. You know, it's like it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt and David Krumholtz playing Joey, and Joey thinking that he's, you know, that all that intricacy of it, I think makes it work well or work better. Mm-hmm. So I appreciated that. I do think after the party scene, like I was talking about before, it starts to feel like, and then this happens, and this happens, and then this happens. Whereas like that first chunk of the movie, I think is pretty smooth narratively. Yeah. The last half is like, here's what we need to do now. We've set all this stuff up, and here's how we're gonna resolve it or escalate it. So it's not a bad thing. It just, I think it lulls just a little bit in that back half.
And I think that's just because of the way the movie's set up. There's just so many, like, back and forth deals going on and, like, third parts of the deals that they have to all clean up because it's just a mess at that point. While before, it's not really a mess. Everything's all happening at the same time, really. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I loved it. Also, just everything always reminded me of 10 Things, not another teen movie. Even the poem, of course, there's a scene in Not Another Teen Movie, same thing. When they're going around saying, like, who's, like, all the cliques and stuff.
Oh, the clique scene. I wrote something down about that. It's just like, I don't think I could watch enough. I don't think I'll ever be able to appreciate another, like, here are all the clique scenes ever again.
I know.
Like, how do you do that now? How do you make it fresh now? I just can't. You know, I like the Mean Girls one because it literally turns them into animals at times, you know, like with the sound effects and stuff, and it's clever, but I don't know. The click scene was like,
yeah, there's really
even though David is great in it.
Strange clicks that I had never heard of in my life.
Yeah, exactly. I never knew that the movie was set in Seattle, by the way, until this time.
Yeah, I still didn't know until you said it, so there you go.
It opens with a shot of the Seattle skyline. I was like, oh, cool, Seattle. And then there's that real-world Seattle scene, or she's watching Real World Seattle. It's like, okay, cool.
I had something else, but it's gone, so.
How about when Bianca is punching Joey and she does that's for this, and that's for that, and this is for me, you know? How do you feel about that general cliche?
I mean, I'm fine with every cliche in this movie, so.
All right.
Although I think Bianca's performance is probably the one that holds up the least in this movie.
Sure. Yeah, I did think that a little bit, but yeah. She's the only one that didn't go on to have like a bigger career. Which kinda, you know, speaks to that, I guess.
Wonder if it's because of this movie.
Although I would watch her in a Alex Mack revival in a heartbeat.
In what?
Alex Mack, is it the Secret World or the Secret Life of Alex Mack? She can turn into like the T-1000 liquid form and like slide under doors and stuff. It was a TV show.
I literally don't know what
Nickelodeon.
You're just saying things.
Yeah, I could just totally be making it up and you'd have no idea.
Yeah. I hope that was a test and I passed, but no, I have no idea.
I'm butchering the title for sure. I don't know what it is.
Speaking of TV shows, though, did you know there's a 10 Things I Hate About You TV show?
I discovered that in the research. I did not see that show.
And also, everyone's different except for the dad, I'm pretty sure. I think he's the only one.
I read that and I was like, how is the dad still in the show? Like, in what context?
It looks so different. I'm really curious to watch it.
I'm surprised you haven't. Like, I mean, if your family loved it so much, no one in your family like watched like one episode of the show?
No. I don't
well, good
even
for
know
them.
If my family knew it existed.
It's great. It was on like ABC Family or something.
I know.
Jeez.
Oh, it looks bad.
Awesome.
Also, the party scene in this movie is like the epitome of high school parties are not like that at all.
Yeah. It's like an exaggerated college party at the very least, you know? Like, come on. It's way over the top.
And everyone just shows up at exactly the same time with a stereo, and it's ridiculous.
I love that guy though. The kid whose house it is.
I know.
He's so funny.
I know.
And I've seen him in other stuff. Like I bet he's played that character in other 90s teen movies. Like you've seen him before. He's so good.
It's wonderful.
Oh, man.
I've always wanted to just throw papers down a long stairway, but I don't go to school in a castle, so I don't think I'll ever be able to do that.
Yeah, I think at some point in my life I was thinking about this movie and I was like, did they go to school at like Xavier's School for the Gifted and Talented?
I don't know.
That's what it looks like. It looks like the X-Men mansion.
I know it does. It feels like someone was like, that's a cool castle. Let's make it a school.
So there was one thing I noticed this time around that I definitely would not have noticed as a kid, and it's like there are a lot of really cool, like, I don't know if you'd call them, I guess you'd tracking shots or like oneers where the camera just like starts wide and then pushes in on something. There's like a cool one towards the beginning where it comes in through the window and Kat is of course reading the bell jar, you know. And I liked that kind of stuff. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And then there's one after Kat talks to Bianca about Joey, tells him that they dated in 9th grade for a month, and then they have a fight and she leaves. And then there's a oneer that starts on Kat in her bedroom, and it pushes out of her window onto Bianca on a tire swing, and it's just like this sad moment where they're looking at each other, and it's like, you know, I understand why it's there, but it cracked me up. It was so cheesy. I think it's the cheesiest thing in the movie for sure.
A camera shot's the cheesiest thing in the movie.
Yeah, because she's just like, the way that Bianca's in the tire swing, so sad in her front yard, and Kat is just looking down on her, is bad. It's so cheesy.
Yeah. I remember always being upset the first few times I watched this movie when they were going to play paintball, and they just ended up throwing water balloon paintballs at each other.
Oh, opposite reaction for me. I've always been like, that sounds more fun than getting hit with a gun.
Have you ever played paintball?
No, I haven't played paintball, but I don't want to. I don't want to get bruised.
I don't want to hear
it. Paint water balloons sounds so much more fun, and it's probably because of this movie. But there's paint.
It's paint all over yourself. That's ridiculous.
That sequence, by the way, is pure delight to me.
Yes, it is.
I think
really
I love that entire scene. It's so good. It's wonderful. The music, their performances, it's amazing.
Do you love it because you know he's secretly playing her hard, you know, but she's all happy?
Uh-huh.
So I kept saying while we were watching the movie, Alex. I was like, aren't you sad he's really just in it for the money?
That's terrible. Also, I guess, I mean, it's not a thing for very long, but the first time he's like, I'll pay you to go out with Kat, and he's like, $20. I was like, what? I thought it was like hundreds of dollars. And it very quickly becomes that, but yeah.
Yeah. Rather quickly.
Hundreds of dollars. That's crazy.
I know. Must really want to date that other girl.
Kind of.
To win a different bet, it doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what?
Because he makes a bet with that one guy in the beginning, and that's why he's trying to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then even that other girl, I don't remember her name, brings it up to Bianca. And it's like, is it just a bet, or is he trying to win money? Because if he's trying to win money, he's already spending a lot on it in the first place. I don't...
Well, no, in that first scene with Joey and his friend who's like, you want to bet money on it? He's like, money I have. This I'm going to do for fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
Still ridiculous, because it's not really a bet at that point.
Yeah.
If you're just doing it for fun.
Yeah. I thought that at one point I was like, this is pretty thin character motivation, but he's also like an idiot high school guy. So
Also, at what point
Makes
in the
sense.
year does this movie start?
Yeah, I wondered that because I guess it's not like the whole school year. Like this seems like it's a couple of weeks, but it's just that I guess Joseph Gordon-Levitt is new, so it makes it feel like it's the start of the year, but I think it's the end of the year.
It's gotta be, because all I can
Couple
think
months-
of is
couple
how
weeks in
they
May.
ended up at prom at the end. And then I just thought
Yeah.
about Not Another Teen Movie, where they have that, whatever it is outside that tells all the events, and it's like Monday, Joey's party, Tuesday, blah, blah,
right.
blah, Thursday something, and Friday prom. And like Monday's first day of school, Tuesday is Joey's party, and then Thursday, and then Friday prom, and stuff like that. Like, because the school year takes place
So
in a
good.
week.
This movie probably influenced that quite a bit, I think.
So many parts of this movie influenced that movie, which is why I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
But one thing I liked about Joey, because he's like a slimy character, obviously. But the one thing I liked about him, and I guess similarly with like the way that Kat is introduced, is like they're not. I don't know how to phrase it. They're not like completely terrible. This is more towards Joey, I guess. He's not completely terrible in that every time he's on screen, I don't just like hate him and want him to go away. You know, like he also has stuff to bring to the movie. Like specifically, there's that scene at the party when he's like flirting with, I guess it's Kat, I think, and then a guy runs in behind him over his shoulder and is like, two people are fighting.
Yeah.
And he goes, yes, a fight. It's such a funny moment.
I know.
Like he's so overjoyed, and it's like I like that this villain-esque character can still be funny and still serve the movie in that way. Because I think oftentimes it's just like terrible characters are terrible characters and they're not redeeming at all, and it's much more fun when they're at least a little redeeming. And then like with Kat, one thing I liked is if this was written today, Kat would be dressed in all black and she'd hate everything and everyone. She wouldn't have like true interests. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the character would be today.
Yeah.
But she just like is ripping posters off the wall and is a feminist, and you know, she's like a real character, and I appreciated that a lot.
I don't know. Joey, for me, he doesn't serve the movie that well. He's kind of...
Yeah.
He's not as funny as the others, and I do like that scene where he says, "Oh, fight!" Also, I've never known if he was like being seriously excited about it or just being sarcastic. I've never understood.
But he runs to the fight.
I know he does, but like the way, that's what's so confusing, because the way he like says it hints that
Right,
he's
it
not,
definitely
because he
is.
goes, "Ooh, fight!" and then runs off, and it's like, are you serious about
was
this?
so
Or you
funny.
not? I don't understand.
I thought it was so funny. I also love when he's like, he's showing Bianca the two like headshots or whatever, and they're exactly the same, except
I
for
love
the color of
every
his
part
shirt.
of
He's
that.
like, which one's better?
And the same one when he's like at the party, and he like does the same stance twice, and he's like, "Do you see the difference
Right.
there?"
That's so good. It's funny.
Also, I love that Shaggy is in this movie, and he is like one of the Jamaican guys,
What?
as in Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
No, yeah. Is he really?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you positive?
I'm looking it up right now just to make sure.
Yeah, look it up right now, because
I'll do I'm
Don't
pretty
believe you.
positive. He's in.
his name is Matthew Lillard, by the way.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
He's
is.
in Scream, right?
Wait, what? Oh yeah, he was in Scream. Yeah, Stu.
Hold on. Scrolling. It's not gonna work. My computer's too slow.
I don't think so, man.
I'm only in 2006. Okay, here we go.
It's 1999.
Dang it, I don't see it. I don't see it.
All that for nothing.
All that for nothing. She's all that, though.
Yep. He was in a lot of great movies like this.
Man, that's depressing. I always thought it was him.
Yeah.
Well, this is embarrassing.
It's okay.
Is it okay? I don't think it is. I've given out false information like a billion times on this show, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, listeners, fact check for sure.
For sure.
So, okay. So tomorrow, somebody asks you, like, "Oh, I've never seen 10 Things I Hate About You. Should I watch it?" What do you
Oh,
tell?
absolutely not. It's a stupid movie. Don't watch it. No, I definitely see it.
I think that I would It's somewhere in there. I would say like it's like your typical 90s high school movie, but it's great. Like if you're going to watch one of those movies, this is probably the one to watch.
I wouldn't even tell him that.
You would just sell it as great movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to love it. So what I said to Alex when we watched it.
Did she love it?
I think so. But you never know. She could have been like, oh, yeah, I loved it. Just because you'd be embarrassed if I just said I didn't.
All right. Well, anything else?
No.
You want to like list 10 things you love or hate about this movie?
No,
real quick.
I really don't. I'm not Julia Stiles. I can't pull it off, so.
Okay, good. All right. Let's move on to topic time.
Topic time.
I don't know what the topic will be called, but we're just going to talk about some other 90s high school teen movies.
90s high school teen movies.
Exactly. Also, like not another teen movie, which is not in the 90s, but it's obviously spoofing all these movies. So, I'm just going to rattle off some, and we'll start there.
Do it.
She's All That, which has already been mentioned. Never Been Kissed, Drew Barrymore. Can't Hardly Wait, which is like one of my other favorites. American Pie, Drive Me Crazy, Clueless, which is based on a Jane Austen novel, right? So similar to 10 Things I Hate About You. And Not Another Teen Movie.
I've seen like maybe 2 or 3 of those movies that you listed.
Oh, seriously? Which one haven't you seen?
And only recently, really.
So of those, which ones have you seen?
Let's see. Y'all made me watch Clueless.
Y'all made me, whatever. You loved it.
Y'all. What was the list again? I'm trying to think. I know there's another one.
She's All That?
Nope.
You haven't seen She's All That?
Nope.
That is like that's like a third of Not Another Teen Movie.
I know. I also haven't seen Never Been Kissed, which is also a huge subplot in Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah, it's not as big as...
Oh, no, because it's just with that one old lady.
Right. Never Been Kissed is pretty great. It's really funny. Drew Barrymore is like a reporter. I mean, you know the plot because it's in Not Another Teen Movie, but she's a reporter who pretends to be a high school student to write about high school. Why she's writing about high school? I don't know. It didn't matter in the movie. Yeah. So, have you seen Can't Hardly Wait?
Nope.
Oh man. Okay, so that's the portion of Not Another Teen Movie where the girl from Mean Girls, every time she walks in and they play that song,
Yeah.
the slow motion walk. That's from Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah.
And there's other parts in Not Another Teen Movie that are from that movie. But that one is a great one. Really funny. Like Seth Green and a lot of other great people. It's a really good one. Mm-hmm. You've seen American Pie, right?
Yeah.
Not really.
I don't think I've seen it all the way over. I don't think I've seen it all the way through.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. That was one that I never really liked that much. Drive Me Crazy is fun. It's not as good as the others, but that one is like Melissa Joan Hart and the guy from Entourage.
Haven't seen that one.
Okay, so what did you think of Clueless?
It was all right.
Oh, right. Clueless is so fun.
It's all right.
What do you think of this genre as a whole?
I think I needed to see them younger, probably, to think they're wonderful.
Uh-huh.
I guarantee you, if I watch them all now, they won't be as great.
But you like appreciated them enough to have like Not Another Teen Movie be one of your favorite movies.
I just like the idea of that movie, like just making fun of this this huge conglomerate of teen movies. Just like Scary Movie. I love the first few Scary Movies for the same reason.
Oh no, I do not feel the same way about like any of the scary movies that I do. Not Another Teen Movie. I think Not Another Teen Movie is like
I think
the
it's
best one.
Way above those, but I still think the first Scary Movie is really, really good.
But I guess like similarly to when I was talking about 80s movies and John Hughes last week, is like the thing I like about all these 90s teen movies is just the fact that they're like high school stories that are taken seriously to an extent. There are attempts at real drama there, and I appreciate that. They're not like, they don't pander to high school students. They're like high school movies, but supposedly for everyone to enjoy, because you are sort of looking back at high school or whatever. So I like that all these movies exist. But yeah, they're not like, like none of the movies I read on the list are probably like great standalone movies. They're fun like as a part of this subgenre.
Nope.
Plus, I had a sister who was 5 years older than me, so we watched all of these movies all the time.
I just need to go back and watch them all. Then I'll let you know what I think.
Watch Can't Hardly Wait and watch Never Been Kissed. The others you can... Oh, She's All That. Watch those 3.
That's like half the list.
Yeah. And I'm sure I'm missing some, but these are just the ones that like stood out to me. I also excluded like Faculty, like any other like teen movie that was like a scary movie or a horror movie or like intense, like Cruel Intentions or whatever. Like these are just like the fun party high school movies.
Would you count 21 Jump Street as a high school movie?
Kind of, barely.
I would say barely as well. Just because it's kind of like, they try and make it like modern high school. Like, because they were back in high school and people were one way, but now they're another.
That's true. I did really appreciate that. Like, that opening scene where they show up to the high school and Dave Franco, confronts them and is like, that's not, and they learn that that's not how high school is anymore. All that stuff is really great. And a whole movie like that would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
But although the Jump Street movies are great.
I know, they are.
Like, as their own thing.
Yeah.
They're so great.
I concur. Is one of those 90s movies you listed your favorite, or not another teen movie that makes fun of all those 90s movies?
Of all these movies, 10 Things I Hate About You is probably my favorite.
No.
Maybe Can't Hardly Wait after that.
I don't believe
But
it.
Not Another Teen Movie is like, I like it. It's up there. Even though it's not one of these movies.
I know, but I didn't 10 Things I Hate About You is your favorite of all of these?
Out of all these like 90s teen movies, yeah. It's such a good one.
Crazy.
I saw Can't Hardly Wait recently, and it holds up just as well as this one. I think that one is also very good, but
yeah,
it's a close between those two. She's All That I haven't seen in a long time, and I have a itching feeling it doesn't hold up. So we'll see. I don't know.
So episode of the podcast.
Definitely, that'd be a good one. All right, is that the show?
That's a wrap.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Let us know what your favorite 90s teen movie is. You can tweet at us. Our Twitter handles are in the description, along with a lot of other great stuff. Like, you can check out our YouTube-exclusive mini-episodes where we talk about Harry Potter, our favorite horror movies, and just our favorite movies in general. If you want to tune into just the second half of an episode, just our topic time, you can check those timestamps out in the description as well, so that you can skip if you don't want a movie spoiled for you. And if you want to keep supporting the podcast, the best thing you could do is to write us a review on iTunes. That's a great way for us to bump up in iTunes and get seen by more listeners, which would be a great thing. But thank you for listening. Yeah, I think that's the show.
I think it is.
All right. We will see y'all next week. Have a good first week of December.
Indeed. See y'all.
All right. See y'all.